Real talk, the metaphor messiah, man. I got this one. Let's go. You ever seen the morning star? Mr. Metaphor Messiah, back to show you who we are. I represent a legacy, a pothead like the 70s, a different kind of mind. They say we only speak in melodies. Legend in the game, I think I found a solution. Got a crazy kind of flow, I need a verbal institution. Monster on the mic, I feel like hip-hop then adopted me. You pussy niggas shook, you let them turn this to a mockery.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dead on Dave, and we've got brand new graphics, yet the same Fat Man flavor. What's going on, everybody? I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I'm coming at you live from Germany for your copious review of Monday Night Raw. And what better way to start off your day than with the copious Fat Man himself? And of course, Real Talk Metaphor Messiah. Thank you for morning light. Real talk. How are you guys doing? All right. Let's check it out. Real simple. I think it is time to officially just start getting over Survivor Series. Let's do like Elsa and let it go. Because it's over. No matter how you feel about it, only time is going to tell if it was the right decision or not. Of course, I'm talking about Brock Lesnar and Bill Goldberg. I, for one, was hoping for a little Lesnar chaos last night. We didn't get that out of Raw. However, what we did get was a surprisingly good show. I think that's a very fair thing to say. Raw was really solid, man, from start to finish. Not a lot of lag, not a lot of drag. We did get a big announcement out of Goldberg. We got an unbelievably solid main event. We got some new directions. We got some old ways. There's a whole bunch of good stuff that came out of this Raw. I don't think it was a bad Raw at all. I think if you had a problem with Raw, it was more than likely because you had not really let go of some of your anger towards Survivor Series. But when you look at it from a whole for the entire weekend, and this usually tends to be true with WWE events, programming, whatever the case may be, but the weekend, I think overall was a success. NXT was epic on a scale of epicness. Raw was very, very good. And Survivor Series had a few moments worth talking about. And one shocking moment that everybody will talk about for a very long time, no matter how you felt about it. So overall, I got to say, pretty damn good weekend all in all. When you really think about it and you look at it, it's one of those some of its parts equaling up greater than the whole, type deal. And it really was. It was a lot of fun. Toronto got into it. Toronto really did have a good time. So it is what it is. A lot of good stuff going on there, and we're going to break it all down. We're going to talk about it right here live on Dead on Dave Productions, and then we're going to take your calls, your hopes, your dreams, your loves, your quips, your quotes, and all of the things in between. We're going to talk about it and get your reaction to last night's Monday Night Raw. And tonight, I will be live directly after. I don't think I'm going to do a reaction, although it is still possible. We will be live directly after SmackDown for your SmackDown review. And maybe an opportunity to win a $50 PlayStation Network gift card. Oh, yes. The copious Fat Man giveth. But how about talking about giveth? Look what was giveth to me, man. A nice little graphic update by Iron Knight Graphics. Iron Knight Graphics. Of course, that is Gun Cannon 15 on YouTube, starting a new graphics company, as you saw at the beginning of the show. And if you want to get some graphics done, of course, you could always go to the graphics guru, Sal, of course. But Iron Knight Graphics, man, you got to give a little bit of love to Gun Cannon here for what he's doing. This is good shit. This works for me. It's very, very nice. Did a great job, and we got more coming. So hopefully you guys are digging it. But the Fat Man flavor is always going to be the same. All right. Let's start with the beginning of the show. Goldberg opens, which is probably the right decision. Just give the crowd what they want right at the jump. Goldberg comes out, and for about a second, he teases the possibility of saying goodbye forever. But then he said he was approached by Stephanie McMahon, who was like, what about a title run? Do you have a title run in you? And my worry is that the whole Meltzer story is bullshit. That Brock didn't agree to getting beat like that. And there is something more nefarious going on, like they're deciding to pivot to Goldberg instead of Brock because they think there might be more money in him or something like that. I don't know what the case may be. Maybe Lesnar got too difficult to deal with. You just never know. So I'm hopeful that what Meltzer said yesterday is true, with Lesnar seeing money in a prolonged Goldberg feud. But I am not 100% confident that that's the case, because part of me is seriously dreading Goldberg winning the Royal Rumble, because now we know that Goldberg will not only be at the Royal Rumble, he will be in the Royal Rumble, which I do take a little bit of exception to, unless something happens kind of like this. You see, Brock Lesnar probably will not be showing up on television at all until Royal Rumble. More than likely, this is how I would book it. Since you're not going to do the chaos thing, you're not going to do super villain Lesnar where he's going to murder people in the ring and Goldberg's got to be the superhero, which seems to be the best story that they could tell if they wanted to. Then the next best thing for me would be Goldberg going in the Royal Rumble around 19, 20, 21, something like that, and dominating, throwing a couple people over, really just being an unbelievable force of nature. Even though I do know that Corey Graves said he was going to be the first one in, I know that's not going to be the case. I think that was just a slip of the tongue, which happens almost every year. Then, 30, it's Brock Lesnar. I don't think that Brock should just cost Goldberg the match. I don't like that. I understand that you can accomplish what I'm saying both ways, whether Brock Lesnar's in the match one way or another. And then you wouldn't have to take up a spot. But I'm more of a fan of that shock value at 30 of it being Brock Lesnar and him costing Goldberg the match. Well, actually, those two just fighting in the match, in the confines of the match, and then both getting eliminated or eliminating themselves, something of that nature. I kind of like that idea a little bit better than Brock just coming in. Because if Brock comes in, he can't just destroy Goldberg. He's got to destroy everybody. And that's just, maybe he puts a halt to the Royal Rumble. Maybe he destroys the Royal Rumble. Maybe that's how he gets his revenge. Maybe that's the chaos. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways that they can go with it. I think some are success, some are failures. However, Goldberg has got to stay away from the title. And same thing with Brock at this point. No titles for either one of them. They don't need it. They are not a main event as far as wrestling is concerned. They're a sideshow. They're the spectacle. They're the sizzle. They shouldn't be the stake. They're CM Punk at UFC. CM Punk at UFC was a draw to make you buy the pay-per-view. He certainly wasn't the main event. In fact, most people knew that it wouldn't be the best match on the card, and it wasn't. It was an ass-kicking, and that's exactly what Goldberg and Brock need to do when they do headline WrestleMania. Headline I use in parentheses, or quotations, because they might close the show, but they're certainly not going to be the best match. You know what I mean? It just all depends on how you phrase the word main event, I guess. It's semantics, but still very interesting to see how they're going to do it. And I think there are a few ways that could still make this somewhat desirable and maybe not a complete waste of time of the last 3 years, but only time is going to tell. So Goldberg, in the confines of last night, in last night's context, I think he did a good job as far as coming out there, getting Toronto into it, and making his announcement that he'll be in the Royal Rumble. You're all next. I like that. Then you have a nice little Bret Hart smattering there. Holy God, about 20 assholes in Canada started chanting, "You screwed Bret," at Goldberg, which I'm kind of surprised it took this long to happen, to be completely honest. But, there's going to be some bitterness. There's going to be some bitterness that will last forever, so we'll see what happens with that. But overall, very good way to open up the show. If you were, especially if you were a fan of what happened the night before, which it seemed like Toronto was, man. I did see a little bit of resistance, a little bit of drop off in his reaction. The Goldbergs kind of died off a little bit earlier than they did, and I think that's going to happen more and more because Goldberg has a shelf life. I just believe that to be true, but we'll see. Only time will tell. All right, but they were very smart. The rest of Raw was loaded with some good matches, title opportunities, great segments, and let's get into those because we kick off with the Raw Tag Team title match between Cesaro and Sheamus versus the New Day, who were a little bit edgier last night than we've seen. Still the same gimmick that they've always been playing, but even when they were heels, they were comical and stuff. They were just a little bit meaner. They were a little bit meaner tonight. Now, I'm wondering if this is going to be a full-fledged heel turn, but they're still going to be the same team. They're still going to be making the jokes. They're still going to be shilling their products, all of that good stuff. That's not going to stop. It's just going to be in, because remember, New Day has always been about being a joke of a joke. Making fun of you for making fun of them. That's what the New Day does. That's what they have excelled at. Becoming a caricature. Being a ridiculous version of what they were expected to be. That is what made them work. So they just need to keep doing that. Them cheating again to win this match, which was actually a very, very good match, by the way, is not indicative of a full-fledged heel turn. I don't believe that for a second. Some people are going to believe it, but they've been cheating the entire time. So it's good stuff. By the way, big shout out to everybody who's here. I see Lurking Ions here. She wakes up to see Dave. Yes, that's right. I'm live, bitches, because it's not morning here in Germany. It's 2 in the afternoon. So we see Dofada. I see Paul Pista. Pista, barely knew her. Sarah Small, Chris Cressa, Kyle Lord, Super J, Punk Pyro. We got a bunch of good people in here. Thank you for joining me this early. I do appreciate it. You guys rock. You rock. You guys rock. So the cheating by the New Day doesn't bother me at all. Woods is such a good cheater. just blowing Francesca at people. I absolutely love Francesca 2 Turbo, actually. And Kofi does tap out, but the ref doesn't see it. And we get a really good match, man. I think that the New Day does need to do stuff like this to continue to kind of keep them fresh, however long they're going to be together. Look, they're definitely breaking that record. Every time that I've thought over the past few years that the WWE would stop short of breaking a record, I've been wrong. I've been wrong every time. I thought that Nikki would stop short one day. I thought there's been a bunch of people that would stop short by a day or a couple days, but they don't. They plow through it, man. They're doing it every single time now. So I fully expect the New Day to break that record of demolition. Totally expect that to happen. But we'll see. We'll see. Jericho once again reestablishing himself. Look, I had a big problem with the Survivor Series 5-on-5. I did. I had an issue with it because 2 people got eliminated because of the list. So my worry was that the list was going to be the cause of the dissolving of Y2KO. Y2JKO. Fuck. What? Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. I was worried about that. And they played with it. And this is why Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens are so good at what they do. They played with it because they went right to the door of it. They made everybody think about it, that they were going to be falling apart once again. It was going to be about the list. It was going to be about their friendship and all of this stuff. And then they gave you the middle finger because they blamed Roman Reigns, had a big hug in the ring, and they turned the entire segment into a fantastic moment. It was great, man. I really enjoyed it. It was so goddamn funny. But before that happened, and I'm totally remiss, I'm going to talk about that at length in a moment. Let's talk about the edginess that happened last night. How about Naked Enzo? Naked Enzo. Let's talk about Naked Enzo for a second. That's about as edgy as they get. They pixelated a dong last night. And they let Enzo look like he have a big dong too. Lana seemed impressed. They did a good job with it. It was very funny. Enzo is so comfortable in his own skin. Very, very good stuff. Funny segment. Didn't get hokey. I liked the entire thing. After that, we got Sami Zayn going into Foley and Stephanie, who decide to punish Zayn for losing, even though Maurice cheated her motherfucking fine ass off to get The Miz to win. But they decide that he needs to be punished, and his punishment will be Braun Strowman. That's a little bit later on. Next, we got to see Cedric Alexander and Daivari. Holy shit, I know! The CWC, the Cruiserweights, they got a singles match that was not related to the title. Holy shit. My God. And it was good. It wasn't epic. It wasn't a CWC quality match, but it was a Cedric Alexander showcase. We got to see some of his big highlight reel moves and a very, very epic lumbar check. A very nice, stiff-looking lumbar check. My wife almost shit herself when she saw that. She'd never seen a lumbar check before. She was like, oh, yeah. So that was pretty cool. I do see a big rise from Cedric Alexander. He's absolutely fantastic. Does look like he gained some of his weight back, though, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. After all of that, we do go to the aforementioned highlight reel, which was hilarious. It was hilarious before they made the twist. But it also got very like, oh my God, they're going to fight because of the fucking list. And that would have killed me. But they made it about Roman Reigns instead. Very, very funny because they are still best friends. It's just hilarious. The hugging, the over-loving, the whole thing. It is so good. It's so good. And then getting to see Rollins come out there, which was very funny. And kind of just getting involved with it. And then ultimately getting in a no disqualifications match with Kevin Owens for the title, with both Roman Reigns and Chris Jericho banned from ringside. I really did like that. I thought it was a good way to go. I also thought we'd see the return of Triple H. We didn't get that. We got no Lesnar, we got no Triple H, but yet this Raw still seemed to have legs, and that's a good thing. That is actually a really good surprise, I gotta be honest. Gots to be honest. Apparently Rusev took exception of having his wife see Enzo's dong because they had a fight, and Rusev crushed him. I don't know where this is going as far as Rusev goes, but obviously the look from Cass gives it Cass and Rusev are going to go. Maybe Rusev is going to get a tag team partner. I have no idea. I'm not sure what's the best option to do with him. His stock is very low. Lana's the best thing about him at this point. He kind of needs to be rebuilt after that whole long, drawn-out title reign and then subsequent loss to Roman Reigns. Just keep them away from each other, and I'm pretty happy. That's kind of why I wanted the Intercontinental Championship on Raw. It would have been somewhere for a guy like Rusev to go, but it is what it is. Que sera, sera. After all of that, we got another CWC match, another Cruiserweight match, number one contender. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. We did get a number one contender, but it was not the Cruiserweights. It was Golden Truth in the Club that was next. I'm sorry, my notes are all scrambled. Golden Truth in the Club in a squash. New number one contenders, Gallows and Anderson. Not a shock. Not a good match, but not a show killer either, I gotta be honest. Braun Strowman and Sami Zayn do their thing next. We don't even get a... Oh, wait. I'm seeing calls for the Scarf of Dave. There you go. Scarf of Dave. There you go. I apologize. Scarf of Dave. There you go. Sorry, I wasn't reading the chat. Riley Hernandez. Hey, Dave. What up, Riley? How you doing? What up, Riley? After that, we do see Braun Strowman obliterate Sami Zayn. And one of the coolest things I thought they did last night was this demolition of Sami Zayn. Mick Foley being reserved for a change. Usually Mick Foley would come out there and scream, "Stop the match," and all this stuff. But he didn't. Instead, he just walks out and he just said, stop. He called the referee by his first name. He's like, "Chad, stop the match." He can't defend himself. And that was awesome. I thought it was very, very... I like subtlety. I like the art of bringing it back. Reservation a little bit. I like that. And it was a good shit. It was very cool. Braun looked terrifying. I think I'd be remiss to talk about how far Braun Strowman has come. Braun Strowman, man, when he was with the Wyatts, he was not showing... And nobody really knew that he was going to be this athletic. I mean, there was a little bit of inclination that he can move faster, a little bit more agile than a regular big guy. But what he's done since he's left the Wyatts is unbelievably impressive. He's fast, he's strong, he's not as out of control as he used to be. Braun Strowman is turning into something, man. He really is. He's doing a lot of great things, and it's been a lot of fun to watch. He's showing personality, too. I like that. I really do. I don't know if he's going to be a top guy. I have no clue. He might, but you never know. In this stage, at this era, where big guys are kind of rebelled against, you just never know. But there is a possibility. He is very good, and he's only going to get better. Still relatively, he's 33, so it's not like he doesn't have time to even get better than he is now. We'll see how that goes. But Sami Zayn takes an absolute ass thrashing. I don't know if this feud is going to keep going. I'm not sure what the plan is with Sami. I can kind of see him getting traded at this point. It would make sense. He kind of needs to get out of Raw. There's really nothing else for him to do. Sammy's hated by Stephanie. Mick really can't do anything for him. There's nowhere for him to go. They're kind of merging titles at this point. Roman Reigns is being more into the elevated upper card picture, so he's really not getting into his own feud for the United States Championship. So there's really nowhere to go for a guy like Zayn unless they're going to keep putting him in there with Strowman, which for Zayn's health, I hope that's not going to be the case. But still, a really good segment. Really another very solid segment. Speaking of solid segments, Charlotte. How about Charlotte? I'm a pretty big fan of what she did tonight, which I'm not always, man. Charlotte misses the mark a whole hell of a lot. But I thought that she did a really good job tonight. For one, she looked great, as she always does. I'm starting to realize she's just hokey. She can't help the way she talks. And I learned this by watching Road Trip with, what is that? The traveling show where they travel and they talk. I forgot the name of it. Was it Road Trip? WWE's Road Trip? I have no idea. With her and her dad. That's just who she is. It's just who she is. And if she could just, rein it in a little bit like she did last night, I think it'll be perfectly fine. We end up getting a relatively bigger segment than we thought. Sasha comes down, challenges her for the title. Charlotte says next week in her hometown of Charlotte, North Carolina, Flair country, folks. Is Charlotte going to lose the title for a third time on Monday Night Raw? I don't think so. And the inclusion of Nia Jax kind of intimates that. Nia Jax comes down and gets right in the boss's face. It ultimately leads to a Bayley, Sasha, Charlotte, Nia tag team match, which wasn't awful in any regard. We do get, once again, Charlotte tapping out to Sasha, which feels like it's happened a million times. But a decent match, more than decent. I thought it was a good showcase match, a lot of fun to watch. And so another solid segment. Seth Rollins is really doing a good job of selling stuff in his interviews right now. I got to give him a lot of credit. Every time that he talks, he speaks like a top guy. And that's really cool. I don't know if Seth is going to be a main eventer for the rest of his career. He ultimately should be. But the guy acts and carries himself like he's going to be. And I like that. I do like that. We get another Cruiserweight match. Holy shit, which Toronto did not care about either one of the Cruiserweight matches, to be completely honest. But we do get another Cruiserweight match, and this one is a number one contendership between TJ Perkins, Rich Swann, because you can't handle this, and Noam Dar. Very good match. Not as epic as you would have liked to have seen. I think we're going to see more of that on 205 Live, but very good match. Lots of great action, close falls, and then ultimately Rich Swann getting the victory, and he is the new number one contender. Will be taking on the Brian Kendrick at the first ever 205 Live next week after SmackDown. So while the Cruiserweights stay on Raw, they were used better tonight than they've been used the entire time the Cruiserweights have been on Raw. And that's an encouraging sign. I was concerned that they were going to continue to do the same exact thing, because my biggest, criticism of Survivor Series was the fact that everything stayed the same between the brands. And that was a problem for me, especially when you added in the disappointment of Goldberg and Brock. That's a big issue. However, if they're not going to keep doing the same things, then it's not an issue, is it? And based off what they did last night with the Cruiserweights, it seems like they may be going in a better direction. No six-man tag. There was, yes, 2 matches, but 2 important matches. One, a singles match showcase, which I think we need more of, and the other, a number 1 contendership. And I thought both delivered last night. We're going to see the Brian Kendrick and Rick Swann, which should be a lot of fun. 205 Live. I'm going to be watching that shit. Hells yeah. Oh, it kind of messes with my SmackDown review, doesn't it? Shit. I'm going to have to figure that out. I might have to just do live reaction. It might have to be live reactions for SmackDown. SmackDown 205 Live might have to be live reviews. I may not have a choice. Yep. All right, and then the main event. Leads us all to the main event. No DQ, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens. Once again, these two together, tearing the house down. Great job. Really did enjoy it. I thought they did a fantastic job once again in just bringing in all of the toys, having fun with it, kicking each other's asses. It was a good fight. I really expected to see Triple H. I also would not have minded Brock Lesnar coming in and destroying both guys and destroying the entire show. Coming out and eating Monday Night Raw. I would have liked that. Didn't happen, but it's okay. We didn't get Triple H either. However, we did get a guy in a Sin Cara mask interfere, and it turned out to be, wait, I know, shocking, Chris Jericho. How are they going to deal with this? Chris Jericho once again interfering, even though he was supposed to be banned from ringside. I didn't like that aspect of it, but the rest of it worked. Everything else worked. Obviously, Rollins is being pivoted to Chris Jericho. They're slow burning it. They are telling longer stories, and it does seem to be gathering a little bit of a foothold. But I don't know. I think they might be overestimating the fact that I don't know if everybody wants to see 6-month feuds, 6-7-month stories being told. And that I do, because I like good, long, fleshed out stories. But it's possible that Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens doesn't have a lot of life left in them after like 4 unsuccessful attempts by Seth Rollins. But there hasn't been a bad match in their series. And they seem to be getting more comfortable as time goes on. They're having great matches, and it's a hell of a lot of fun to watch, so there's nothing to complain about there. And I do think a potential Chris Jericho-Seth Rollins match is also in a feud. There's definitely money in that as well. So overall, I was very impressed with Monday Night Raw, considering how it could have gone. It could have been an absolute disappointment because of everything that happened the night before. Then again, it also could have been epic with beatdowns and murdering on live television, but that didn't happen either. What we did get was a solidly booked show from beginning to end with no real lag, no disappointment. I thought it was a pretty damn good show, all things considered. So there's your review. Let's take some phone calls. We're opening up them phone lines. David Vancura on Skype, DAVIDVANCURA. And, of course, number 702-751-2902. First caller of the day is a good friend, the beacon of positivity, that maniac from Tommy Talks. It's Tommy NC 2010. What's going on, buddy? You're live with that on Dave. We either have a whale or the penguin on right now. I'm not sure which. What's up, buddy?
Well, good morning, by the way. This is early for you to be doing a stream like this.
Dude, you've known me for over 2 years. I'm in Germany. It's 2:30 in the afternoon here. You've known me.
It's morning for me. Sorry.
Yeah, I know that, but this isn't about you. It's about me. It's Dead on Dave Productions. It's about me. What's up, buddy?
Me. Oh, jeez. I tell you what. I missed the part last night where Goldberg came out. But I'm definitely glad that Goldberg is not going to let the sour taste in our mouth. He's actually going to be at the Royal Rumble. and he's actually going to wrestle. You know, like.
Well,
but the thing is,
he's gonna enter the Royal Rumble. I don't know how much wrestling he's gonna do, but he's gonna toss a couple people over until Lesnar comes out and costs him the match. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew Lesnar wasn't going to come on Raw. He's too butthurt because he lost.
Right. Yeah, that's why. That must be it, Tommy. It's not real, Tommy. It's fake. He was written to do so. He wasn't actually butthurt. God damn it. You need to stop your anger. I know what I'm going to set this up. I'm going to make my life's mission to get you to meet Brock Lesnar. That is going to be my life's fucking quest. If I do nothing else with my life, I mean, I'm talking above seeing my kid go to college, seeing her get married, walking her down the aisle. If I do one more thing with my fat excuse of a life, it is going to be getting you in the same breathing space as Brock Lesnar, because you either need to kiss him or punch him, because I'm getting tired of your shit.
Well, I can hope that Lesnar's a bitch.
Oh, I would so love for you to say that to him. Oh, my God. Oh, how good. How good would that be?
Yeah, he'd be like, boy, I'm going to misarrange your asshole, boy, because I'm going to go Brock Lesnar mode on you. Go, boom!
He's from Minnesota. He's from Minnesota. He's not you. He's not a country bumpkin. He's from Minnesota. He talks more like a Canadian.
Joe Cronin gets pissed at me also because I say it on his show.
Christ. You do have a knack for irritating people, but I love you anyway.
And they say don't poke the bear, but I say take a big stick and whack him over the head.
There you go. I mean, I guess that's one way of going, man. What else you got for me? Anything else?
Oh, Brock Lesnar! Come here for a second. What do you want? Oh, that broke the stick.
He would eat your face. He would eat your face with fava beans and a nice fucking Chianti. That's what he would do.
I'm not afraid of Lesnar.
You should be. I'm afraid of Lesnar. Look.
Oh, come on!
I'm being 100%. I'll be 100% real right now. Look, I'm a fairly tough guy. I've been in a lot of fights in my life. I've done a lot of unarmed hand-to-hand combat in the United States Army. I've been in combat. I've seen some shit. I am not scared of many people, but I will tell you, unabashedly, I'm afraid of Brock Lesnar. I'm a whore, but it would take an obscene amount of money for me to do something even slightly offensive to Brock Lesnar. I don't know if I'd fight him. Like if somebody, like that whole, for $1 million, would you fight Mike Tyson? I think I would. For $1 million, I don't know if I'd fight Brock Lesnar. I don't know if I would. There are so few guys that you can compare to the type of athlete that Brock Lesnar is. It actually scares me. And you should be scared too. You just don't know better.
I tell you what, if you ever watch Dave, you ever watch Dragon Ball Z?
Yes, I love Dragon Ball Z.
I said if I had one wish in front of the Eternal Dragon, I could be a Super Saiyan, and then what would happen is I become a Super Saiyan, but I don't tell Monday Night Raw, and they have me come on the show, and I'm like, and Brock Lesnar thinks he's going to kill me, and I'm just like, by the way, Lesnar, watch this. Let me show you my full potential. He's like, what do you mean by that?
So let me get this straight. Your plan for beating Brock Lesnar is to go into a fictional world, become a Super Saiyan by finding the Dragon Balls and wishing yourself into a Saiyan, which also, by the way, spoiler, doesn't exist. And that is your big plan. You might want to rethink your life choices. I think you need to think about your life choices.
I know that. But it's funny to be fictional. It'd be funny to see if I was the most powerful man in the world and me just beat the living crap out of Brock Lesnar and then throw him up in the sky.
I think that's the only way. This is one of the fucking wildest things. Look, you've done some crazy ass shit on this show. Like you've wielded a knife, which by the way, I have a knife now as well because I'm not letting you intimidate me ever again. But this is one of the weirdest fucking conversations I've ever had with you. And that's saying something. I have had some strange interactions with you over the last 2.5 years. This is probably the weirdest. And
I want to say something to you.
And I love you for it.
I want to say something to your fans. If any of you are animators and you want to take this conversation and animate it, it would be funny as hell if anybody of Dave's fans did some animating for him and animated this conversation.
You know what? I would still absolutely love it because I'm pretty sure that he would still punch a hole through you, but it's okay. You know, like Mr. Satan fucking through the goddamn bus, that would be you. It would be over. Done. Anything else you got for me? Anything you want to tell the kids before we get you out of here?
Folks, I'm Tommy NC 2010, and you got a dose of Dead on Dave in your mouth. And remember that, because Dead on Dave is a man of vision, a man of positivity. He is not the man of Auschwitz. We've searched that up. No, he's not the man.
No, not the man of Auschwitz, no. Nor have I ever been.
Oh, God.
You are one creepy son.
But, Dave, you have a great day, okay?
You too, my friend. I love you as always. Thanks a lot for being here. I appreciate it, Tommy. You have yourself a really good day over there in North Kakalaki. We'll see you next time. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Goodbye.
Tommy NC 2010. It's always good. Somebody said, fucking Gizmo's ear is more dangerous than my knife? What? This knife is badass. Look at the ridge there. But this did stab me. I don't know. All right, my wife is in the chat. Baby turkeys or goose? So they only have baby turkeys. Shit. I'm in Germany, guys, and I'm trying to get a Thanksgiving dinner going. How big's the baby turkey, babe? Like, how baby are we talking? What? Like, I need to know. What's the size? Like this? Like this? Like this? I need to know. Is it bigger or smaller than my Gizmo? I mean, like, I need to know. I need to know size here, baby. You need to give me a little bit more context than baby turkey. Maybe 2 baby turkeys. How big is it? This is not a toothpick, Rebs. This is a good knife, man. It's a good pig sticker, dude. Fuck people up with that. Hater. Fuck hater. Shit. Okay, I guess go with the baby turkeys, babe. Baby turkey. I need turkey. Baby turkey. Baby turkey. All right, that's all I got there. All right, we are taking your calls live on Skype. David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA. And, of course, the number, 702-751-2902. Call in now or forever hold your peace. This is not going to be an overly long review. There's not a whole lot of reason for that. In fact, we're coming to the end of it now. But if you want to get your word in, that would be great. If not, let's do this. Go ahead and throw in your 2 cents in the chat. What do you think about last night's Monday Night Raw? Give me your rating out of 10. And while you're doing that, I'm going to talk to my wife here. A little bit bigger than a chicken. Shit. How much is it? Call me in 5 minutes, babe. Call me in 5. Give me 5 minutes to wrap this show up, and we will have a discussion about foul. Okay? All right. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5. All right. Nobody's calling in, so that means I can get up out of here. Thank you, Gun Cannon, for your wonderful graphics. I appreciate it. Great job. It's great. I love it. I do. It's great. But that's about it. That's all I got. Rebs didn't see it, so it's a 10. Dofada, 2. 2, really? 2 out of 10? I don't know. Chris Cressa, 6.5 out of 10. I think very reasonable. Gaming Fault, 7 out of 10. Somewhere in that. I think it was a pretty damn good show. It was solid. A lot of good stuff. Nothing really bad. So I'm with you guys. So it was somewhere between a 6.5 and a 7. I think you two nailed it. Chris Cressa and the Gaming Fault had a fuck baby, and it's perfect. Fuck baby of ratings. It's good times. All right, that's about all I got. I have no idea what's going on at Shot from the Point tonight. I might be there. I might not be there. It just depends if we're even going to be doing it. Because Clown might be there. He might not. Tommy might just do streaming. I don't know. But, hey, whatever he wants, that's what we do. So it's no problem to me at all. And then tonight, directly, or maybe during, I still haven't decided, directly after or during SmackDown, I'll be here live talking about all the things. I don't know if my shoulder's going to hold up, but we'll see. It's hurting pretty bad right now. But if it's holding up and I'm okay, I'll be live for the reaction. And if not, I'll be live right after for the review of SmackDown. But I should probably do the reaction because it looks like next week is going to be starting full-time reactions on SmackDown because of 205 Live. I don't want to go up against 205 Live because I think it's going to be a really good show. Super J, best Raw in a while. I agree. Dope Fada, P.S. May I suggest pork steaks? Not a bad idea. Alec Hodges, 8 out of 10. So there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. It all works out. Rebs do both. Well, I do both when I do the reaction. But I mean, I'm not going to do 2 different streams. That's fucking stupid. That's a pain. It's not stupid. It's a pain in the ass is what it is. But I'm used to pains in the asses here on Dead on Day Productions. And I know you guys are too. Thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and share. We're on our way to 4,000 subs. Make sure you tell the world we're almost there. Keep on giving a push. And then next week also, we're going to have a live unboxing. That's right. Live unboxing of my first ever WrestleCrate UK. That's right. I got the WrestleCrates UK edition, and it'll be here next week. Or maybe even this weekend. Could be. I think they're getting shipped out today, so who knows? I don't know how long it's going to take to get here from good old Britain, and it's going to be great. I'm very excited about it. Maybe I'll give a couple of the items away to you guys. And remember, tonight, SmackDown live review, we might be giving away a $50 PlayStation Network gift card. Woo woo! All right. Thank you guys very much for joining me right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. We'll see you next time. Keep it copious, folks. Peace.